Welcome back to Mr. Burton's class. Today we're going to be covering the I do for squares and square roots. We have two questions, so let's not waste any time. Let's get started. A group of 225 students, I'll underline that, needs to be arranged in a square formation for a halftime performance show. How many students should be lined up in each row? So there are a couple things that we know about this. We know that there are 225 students. Let's write that down. We know that they're arranged in a square formation. We know that it wants us to find out how many students, let's box in the question, how many students should be lined up in each row. Now, these rows are going to be covering the area of the square, not just the outside. So what we could do is we could do length times width, and that would give us our area. Since this is a square, we know that our length and our width are going to be the same size. Therefore, we can use the same number and we multiply the same number together or square that number and get the area. So if it's giving us the area of students, which is 225, we could do the inverse operation of that, which is square root, to find out how much one line would be. So let's do that now. So we have 225 students, and we need to find the square root of 225. So what I'd like to do is I like to go ahead and write down all of the square roots that I know and see if we happen upon 225. Let's do that now. So if we have 1 squared, that's going to be 1. 2 squared is going to be 4. 3 squared is going to be 9. 4 squared is 16. 5 squared is 25. 6 squared is 36. 7 squared is 49. 8 squared is 64. 9 squared is 81. 10 squared is 100. 11 squared is 121. 12 squared is 144. 13 squared, I believe, is 169. 14 squared, I need to go ahead and do that calculation really quickly. 196 is what I got. And 15 squared, hopefully it's 15 squared because I am running out of room. 5 times 5 is 25. 5, 6, 7, 0, 5, 1, 5, 7, that's 12. That is 2. 225. So perfect. So 15 squared is 225, which is the number that we're looking for. What number do we need to multiply times itself to give us 225? And that number, as we have figured out, is 15. So what we should have is 15 should be the length and 15 should be the width. Let's see, how many students should be lined up in a row? So let's answer this in a complete sentence. 15 students should be lined up in a row. And we're done with that question. Great job. Okay, so now that we've answered that question, let's go ahead and move on to our second question. I'll read it now. Ivan's room is a square, underline square, so we know what shape we're going to be making, with an area of 144 square feet. The question asks us, what is the perimeter of Ivan's room? So we don't just want to know what one side is like our last question. We actually want to know what is the perimeter. So we're going to be adding up all 4 sides of this square. Let's do that now. So the first thing we need to do is we need to draw our square. And we need to remember that a square has 4 equal sides. So once you find one side, you're going to find all of the sides. Now, the next thing that we know is we have an area of 144. And what do we know about a square? It is length times width. Therefore, it's going to be this side times this side. But the thing is that we learned in our previous example is if it's a square, then both sides are the same. So we're essentially multiplying the same number times itself to give us 144. Sound familiar? Yes, we need to find the square root of 144. So luckily we kept the square roots at the bottom from the last example. So let's go through these square roots and figure out which one is the square root of 144. So it's not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7, not 8, not 9, not 10, not 11, but it is number 12. So with number 12, we know that if we multiply 12 times 12, that will equal up to 144. So we know how long one side of this square is. But that's not what the question is asking us. The question is asking us, what is the perimeter of Ivan's room? So what do we need to do? We need to add together the lengths and then add together the widths, bring it all together to form our answer. So we know that this side is 12, this side is 12, this side is 12, and this side is 12. We could say 12 plus 12 plus 12 plus 12, or we could say 12 times 4. And that'll give us the same answer. Let's do that now. 4 times 2 equals 8. 4 times 1 equals 4. Therefore, when we're solving this, we can say the perimeter of Ivan's room is 48 feet. And there we have it. We're all done. Good job. Thanks for joining Mr. Burton's class today. If you enjoyed what you saw, go ahead and hit a like. Also, go ahead and subscribe to our channel because we have more videos coming very soon. Take care. Peace.